You're sitting on the couch, completely still. You haven't been exercising, you haven't been frightened. And suddenly, thump, you feel a heavy pounding or a rapid flutter right in your chest. In that moment, it is almost impossible to ignore. The immediate psychological reaction for most people is the sudden fear that something inside their chest is suddenly failing. That panic comes from a very specific assumption about how the body works. We tend to think a healthy, resting heartbeat should act like a rigid, unchanging metronome, ticking away at the exact same speed all day. But your heart is actually a highly reactive sensor. It is designed to constantly shift its speed, responding to invisible inputs and demands placed on your body from one minute to the next. To understand why your heart suddenly speeds up, you have to look past the organ itself and investigate exactly what was happening in your body in the moments before it started. Your body has an automatic emergency network called the sympathetic nervous system, which activates whenever your brain perceives danger. This diagram shows how that system works. When you experience true stress or excitement, your brain sends a signal down your nervous system, dumping hormones like adrenaline into your bloodstream. That chemical surge commands your heart to beat faster, pushing more oxygen-rich blood to your muscles so you can react. The catch is, this system cannot tell the difference between a physical threat and a psychological one. A stressful conversation, an anxiety-provoking thought, or a sudden fright produces the exact same adrenaline surge and the exact same racing heart. Chemicals can also mimic this process. When you drink coffee or an energy drink, the caffeine enters your bloodstream and artificially triggers that identical sympathetic nervous system activation, forcing your heart rate upward. Even chronic lack of sleep plays a role. Sleep deprivation leaves your body hypersensitive to minor stressors, making these physiological false alarms much easier to trip. These palpitations occur when the heart executes its job perfectly, reacting to a chemical or psychological false alarm as if it were a physical emergency. Beyond mental and chemical triggers, the cause can be purely physical, like the simple act of standing up quickly. This visual maps the mechanics of orthostatic hypotension. When you stand, gravity instantly pulls your blood downward toward your legs. For a brief moment, less blood returns to your heart, causing a sudden blood pressure drop in your upper body. To keep you from fainting, sensors in your blood vessels detect this dangerous drop. They instantly force your blood vessels to tighten and command your heart to race, quickly pushing that pooled blood back up to your brain. You can see a similar mechanical compensation when you are dehydrated. Low fluid levels physically decrease your overall blood volume, forcing your heart to beat faster and harder just to maintain baseline circulation. This rapid heart rate is an adaptive response, the engine working overtime to counteract gravity and keep the brain conscious. External context explains a lot of palpitations, but to understand true mechanical issues, we have to look inside, because the heart operates as an electrical organ. This diagram shows the heart's internal wiring. Every single heartbeat relies on a precise electrical signal. The signal originates at a top node and cleanly sweeps through specialized tissue, dictating the exact microsecond the heart muscle must contract. If that specific electrical pathway becomes disrupted, the rhythm changes. A rogue spark or a blocked pathway causes an asynchronous, chaotic flutter in the muscle contraction, an irregular rhythm known as an arrhythmia. Occasional extra beats happen in healthy people all the time. But recurring, unexplained irregular rhythms point to a structural wiring issue. While context explains most racing hearts, persistent rhythm disruptions indicate an internal electrical fault that requires direct medical investigation. This graphic highlights the definitive boundaries for safety. There are specific physiological red flags you should always watch for: chest pain, severe shortness of breath, dizziness, or actual fainting. If a racing heart happens together with any of these red flags, or if the racing simply refuses to stop, the context investigation is over. You need immediate emergency medical attention. But for everyday non-emergency palpitations, you can use a simple context checklist. Before you panic, pause and evaluate your recent caffeine intake, your hydration, your sleep quality, and your stress levels. If these non-emergency episodes become a frequent pattern, a doctor can use an ECG, a test that records the heart's specific electrical activity, to monitor the rhythm and rule out arrhythmias. Your heart is designed to continuously change speeds to keep you alive. By learning to read the context around those changes, you can stop fearing every sudden palpitation and start understanding exactly what your body actually needs.